I walked in on my wife betraying me with her former flame at a wedding, so I slipped away quietly, ensuring she'd carry the weight of her choice forever. When I first started dating, my dad shared wisdom that stuck with me. "Son," he said, "a man of integrity doesn't tolerate lies, manipulation, or disrespect from anyone. Stay true to yourself and always hold your head high." Sadly, life threw a wrench in our plans. The big merger meeting got moved up, and I had to leave tomorrow morning, not returning until late Sunday. I knew how much this wedding meant to her. She was the maid of honor. But I'd just been named CFO, and missing this meeting could tank the company and our future. "I'm so sorry, sweetheart," I told her. "Are you serious?" she snapped. "We've planned this for months and you're bailing at the last minute? I'll be there alone. Do you get how humiliating that'll be? Can't someone else go?" I explained. "This deal's worth over $2 billion, and I'm in charge. We've worked on it for a year. No one else can step in. I know it's tough, but I'll make it up with the bonus we'll get." She was furious, stopped talking to me, and told me to sleep in the guest room. That wasn't like her. Our closeness was usually effortless, but her icy rage felt foreign. I tried to understand, to calm her, but she shut me out, so I packed for my trip and spent the night alone, stung by her reaction. The wedding was huge for her because of her friend Sarah's painful past. Sarah's ex-husband cheated on her during a life-threatening illness, then abandoned her when recovery dragged on, deepening her pain and worsening her condition. After a miraculous turnaround, Sarah divorced him, but despair haunted her for 5 years. Friends and family rallied, but nothing helped until she met a guy at a coffee shop, and her world brightened. She was herself again, and everyone wanted to celebrate her joy. Her fiancé, Daniel, adored her and planned a stunning wedding. My wife, Laura, her best friend and maid of honor, had been by her side through it all. I knew how much this meant to Laura, and I hated letting her down, but I was stuck. I vowed to make it right before leaving. The next morning, I tried to kiss her goodbye, but our bedroom door was locked tight. "I love you," I called, promising to call from London. Heart heavy, I headed to the limo for the airport. After 19 years of marriage, her coldness baffled me. I expected more compassion. Her phone went to voicemail when I called before my flight. I left a heartfelt message, texted before takeoff, and again after the 10-hour flight, but got no reply. Knowing she was upset, I braced for a big apology to rebuild her trust. I contacted our twin daughters at college, Emma and Lily, asking them to check on their mom and ensure she was okay. They're daddy's girls, and their love always lifts my spirits. In London, I learned the meeting was canceled due to a family tragedy on the other side. I booked a direct flight to Seattle-Tacoma, just 30 minutes from the wedding venue. The celebration started at 7 in the evening, and I calculated I'd arrive by 9 to support my wife. I thought this gesture would warm her heart. After landing, I grabbed a rental car, and the GPS guided me to the reception hall. It was just past 9 when I arrived, and the party was in full swing. Loud music, dancing, drinks flowing, and some guests clearly overindulging. I was thrilled to be there, eager to see Laura again. With over 200 people, spotting her took effort. I grabbed a double whiskey at the bar and scanned the crowd. Reflecting on our journey, I remembered Laura was 5 years older, recently divorced when we met. Her ex, Dr. Michael Carter, was finishing his residency at Providence Hospital when their marriage ended due to his affair with a colleague. Heartbroken, Laura had kicked him out, her dreams of a family shattered. The divorce hit her hard, emotionally and financially, as residents earn little. She worked as a barista to pay bills, which gave her insight into Sarah's struggles. When we met, it felt like a fairy tale. I was smitten. Despite her pain, I saw a treasure in her. Her beauty caught my eye, but her warmth and kindness won my heart. I helped her rebuild, and we shared 19 wonderful years raising Emma and Lily with love. We valued honesty and loyalty, which gave her security. I admired her strength for leaving her cheating ex and despised infidelity myself. Our marriage was built on trust and commitment, until that night at the wedding. Laura, at 44, was still stunning, and I, 5 years younger, was in top shape from running and fitness. At 39, I felt on top of the world. Our connection was strong, the age gap never an issue. Emma and Lily were thriving at college, full of life and hope. We had a happy family. a rock-solid marriage. Or so I thought. Then I saw Laura at the wedding, sitting alone with Michael. I knew he was close to Sarah, but his presence, without his wife, surprised me. Jet-lagged and curious, I watched them closely. They seemed too comfortable, despite their past. I stepped back to observe, and soon my world crumbled. I was ready to step in when she stood, took his hand, and led him to the dance floor. She looked radiant in her fitted cream dress, and I hoped it was just a dance. But her confidence through several slow songs startled me. I sat sipping my drink, watching. She'd clearly been drinking, her flirty demeanor familiar. She got playful with me after a few drinks. But kissing another man, especially in front of friends, was unthinkable. I knew she was my wife. Her betrayal left me humiliated and enraged. Watching her share intimate moments, his hands on her inappropriately, their kisses, I was stunned. Just as I was about to confront them, they moved to a side table, kissing like newlyweds. I saw his hands on her chest, her hand under the table. My marriage was over. I remembered my dad's words. Respect yourself. Don't tolerate mistreatment. I stayed calm. I could have caused a scene, ruined the wedding, stopped them. But I thought, if she wants him, she can have him. She's not mine anymore. Feeling strangely serene, I pulled out my phone, zoomed in, and snapped photos and a short video. Then I texted her. Guess what, sweetheart? My meeting was canceled and I'm here early. Looks like you're in good hands with Dr. Michael. I'm heading home. I assume you'll stay with him tonight. Enjoy. Here's to our marriage ending. I'll be gone by tomorrow. I sent it and watched. Her phone lit up. She grabbed it, her face sobering as she read. When I saw her reaction, I left for my car. She must have panicked, but I was out before she could catch me. I heard her yell, "James, please wait!" I gave her a cold glance, shook my head, and drove off. My phone rang, but I was too hurt to answer. If she chose her ex, we were done. After catching them together, it was over. 22 years since she left that cheater, and she runs back the first chance she gets. She'll have to explain this to our family and kids. It's on her. Her texts flooded in. James, come back. I need to explain. I love you. It's not what you think. But after 2 days of flights, her silence, her coldness, and seeing her with Michael, I wasn't interested. I ignored 20 calls and texts, then sent one back. Forget you. I'm thriving at work. The kids' college is paid for, and I'm free to live as I please. I'm young enough to start over. After 4 hours of the 7-hour drive back to Portland, I stopped at a diner for eggs and bacon, napping in the car before continuing. While eating, I decided to share my pain. Facebook was the place to spill your life back then. Between bites, I changed my status from married to single and posted 2 photos of Laura and Michael kissing passionately, his hand on her chest. I commented that she was upgrading to her ex while I was back on the market. Maybe it was petty, but it felt honest. I was moving on. Oddly, Michael, nearly 50, balding and out of shape, wasn't an upgrade. Why she'd choose him, a man who cheated on her, baffled me. It stung deeply. I was sadder and angrier than ever, but it also felt absurd. She was throwing away 19 years for an old cheater. Forget them. They deserve each other. I won't tolerate disrespect. Some might say it was just a kiss. Some touching, not worth leaving. To me, she's either mine or free to be with someone else. Her choice. I pulled into my driveway at 7 in the morning. My phone buzzed with over 100 messages from Laura, her parents, her sister, and friends. Within 5 minutes, it rang. Laura. I wondered if she'd slept or spent the night with Michael. Didn't matter. I ignored her because I was done. I got along with her family, so when her dad Robert called, I answered. Robert, I had no clue she was unhappy, but cheating was the final straw. I can't accept her disrespect in front of everyone. She still loves that jerk, and now she can have him. I'll find someone who values me. I'm moving out today, listing the house tomorrow and starting divorce proceedings. She can stay until it sells. I'll keep it fair, but I won't live with someone who wants another man. Robert arrived an hour later, begging me to talk to her first. I showed him the photos of them groping each other. He was upset with her in my rush to act. Entering our home, tears welled up. Our once happy space was now an empty shell. 5 years ago, we'd made it our dream home. Mortgage rates were below 2.99%, and its value doubled. As an accountant, I refinanced, pulling out $500,000 in equity. I set up $200,000 trust funds for Emma and Lily's college and futures, using the rest to renovate. Our payments only rose by $1,700 monthly. Laura returned to work as a receptionist to cover it. My salary was solid, and as CFO, I'd get stock options next year for retirement. Laura trusted my financial skills and wasn't interested in the details. I looked forward to our future. The merger, coinciding with our breakup, promised 40,000 shares. If successful, they could hit $100 each, securing my future. Since the merger was delayed, the options wouldn't factor into the divorce. I planned to file for irreconcilable differences, splitting our $50,000 in savings. The house, heavily mortgaged, wouldn't yield much. If Laura had stayed loyal, she'd have a bright future. But my anger and shame drowned out any love. I wanted her to feel what she'd lost. I hadn't seen Michael in 20 years. Seeing him stirred memories, good and painful. He was my wife's first love, and they were close until his infidelity ended it. I loved James more, but I found myself with Michael, letting him hold and kiss me, knowing it was wrong. I was tipsy and hurt that James skipped the wedding. I thought a little flirting was harmless. Michael's single, and James didn't change his plans, so I felt I deserved some fun. His kisses felt familiar, stirring old joys. I thought a little closeness was fine. Nobody would notice at the lively party. I planned to fix things with James later. Then his text hit. He was there. I didn't see him at first, but I thought I saw him leave. Panic set in. I wanted to explain, but feared he'd seen me. I told Michael I needed the restroom and ran out, my heels clicking. I saw James, begged him to wait, but he drove off. I called and texted, but he ignored me. I sent 10 more texts, my heart sinking when he replied, "Forget you." 2 friends found me outside, shivering, confessing everything. They were shocked and worried for my marriage. They knew James wouldn't let this slide. The next morning at 10 in Portland, I packed. Sitting at the kitchen table with coffee, I felt despair. I left the cup in the sink with a note telling her not to call. We'd talk when divorce papers were ready. I left my wedding ring on it and walked out. I split our funds, canceled our shared credit card after paying it off. She was on her own. If she fought the divorce, she'd handle the mortgage and bills alone. She couldn't. The house would sell fast. If she agreed, we'd end this mess, and she could return to Michael. I drove into a bleak new world. Friends later said Laura sobbed uncontrollably, passing out from drinking and exhaustion. They took her to her hotel, checked on her, and tried contacting me. She woke Sunday, begging for forgiveness, but I ignored her. I flew home and my dad picked me up, his face grim. "Daddy, I messed up. James left me," I cried. He held me. I talked to him. "It's bad." "What were you thinking with Michael?" "Those photos. Even being with him like that was betrayal for James. I hoped James would be home, but he was gone. I spent the day crying, trying to reach him. The irony hit hard. I betrayed James with the man who broke me years ago. His ring and note confirmed he was done. I moved into the company condo, cleared by my CEO, David, a friend who'd faced similar betrayal. He suggested delaying my stock options for a better deal. At work on the 16th floor, I ensured security wouldn't let Laura in. She tried Monday but was escorted out. She was cut off, alone, and scared. Emma and Lily begged me to talk to her, but I explained her betrayal. I told them I take infidelity seriously. It's cheating. They respected my stance, and I assured them I'd always be there. My Facebook post stirred chaos. Friends and family called, but suddenly, women noticed me. I dated younger, vibrant women, a stark contrast to Laura's negativity. A month later, I met Rachel, who became my wife post-divorce. Laura was furious, jealous I moved on without giving her a chance. I dealt with her only through lawyers. We sold the house, netting less than $1,000 after fees. I let her have it. The court based alimony on my average income, not future earnings. I paid her $22,000 monthly for 2 years, enough to get by until she stood on her own or found someone else. Laura and I never spoke directly, only through lawyers. She moved to Denver with Michael, now retired. Their relationship, sparked by nostalgia, was comfortable but dull. She worked part-time as a receptionist, unfulfilled. She regretted her choice, especially seeing me at Emma's wedding. I walked Emma down the aisle, beaming. Laura, with Michael, felt a pang watching me with Rachel and our daughters, Ava and Zoe. Lily's wedding was harder. Despite her efforts, Laura's bond with the twins remained strained. They were closer to me. At a barbecue years later, Emma invited Laura for closure. Rachel welcomed her warmly. The backyard buzzed, kids, music, burgers. Laura clutched lemonade, eyeing the oak tree where Emma and Lily once played. I approached. "Good to see you," I said kindly. "The girls wanted you here." She nodded, tearful. "This place is beautiful, James. I'm so sorry. I threw everything away." I studied her weary face. "I forgave you long ago, Laura. Your choice hurt, but it led me here. I wouldn't trade this life." She smiled faintly. "You're the better person. I'm trying to be better." I invited her to join us, and the evening passed peacefully. At 49, my life blossomed. Rachel, 38, brought joy and adventure. Our home, repurchased after my stock options cashed out, was alive with Ava's art, Zoe's dances, and Rachel's gardening. Emma and Lily, in their late 20s, visited often, bridging past and present. My merger gamble paid off, letting me consult and start a scholarship fund in Portland. Laura, at 57, lived quietly in Denver with Michael. Her regret lingered, especially at our daughters' weddings. She volunteered at a women's shelter, finding purpose. At Emma's vineyard wedding, she watched me with my new family, feeling the loss of what could have been. Lily's wedding echoed the pain. She rebuilt ties with the twins, but they stayed closer to me. At the barbecue, Laura found closure, knowing she'd lost me to her mistake. I wished her well, grateful for Rachel, Ava, Zoe, and the twins. My dad's words, "Value yourself," guided me to a richer life. Laura learned a hard lesson. Think twice before betraying someone you might need again. Thank you for listening. Please share your thoughts, like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more.